So I started off the path of making the wings, and wouldn't you know it, that came with its own section of problems, so it doesn't seem right to not try to include them in this video here. Look at this spoil board here. Someone turned it into Swiss cheese before I showed up, and kind of hard to get any suction power on a piece of foam when you've got that kind of stuff carved in the table. My bad for not going ahead and just surfacing the spoil board completely before starting this project. Or I should have just jigged up the part. But what you can see here is that there's a deep gash in the front of this on the finishing pass because my part slipped. Lesson learned. Another problem that I ran into with this, and it actually had to do with the suction of the table distorting my part, and that's what ruined one of my wings. This wing was milled on both sides. So once it was milled fairly thin, once flipped over, the suction of the table was drawing this part down. And the rough cut worked, but what failed was when I went back over with a second pass with a ball nose, and it had distorted it enough that at the wing tip it wasn't even touching the material. Lesson learned here. Next time I will turn the suction off and jig the part up more tightly and hold it in a different way. This also happens to be a great time for some fantastic questions that one of my viewers asked about. So at Airplane Guide, this one's for you. First you asked if the foam that I'm using from Home Depot is the foam that has slits cut into it, and the answer is an unfortunate yes. I'm sure that this could be purchased elsewhere without them, but I opted for convenience here. My work around this was that I simply threw it on the table saw and ripped the blanks straight down the pre-cut slots so that I had two clean edges. With that done, I applied Gorilla Glue because that is a foaming style glue to the edges. I ran a strip of masking tape down my spoil board of the CNC. I used the convenient hold down pressure of the suction mechanism to clamp these two pieces together until they bonded. The reason I use Gorilla Glue is precisely because it foams. And since I'm using foam cutting milling bits, I don't want these bits to hit anything but foam. You also asked if I've noticed that thin sections tend to warp, and my answer to that is absolutely. Have a look at this picture here of the horizontal stabilizers. It seems to me that this happens because of the factory finish on the foam seems to add a little tension over the side that's actually milled. Now, it's not a problem for me, especially in this case, because I'm bonding the two halves together and that cancels each other out. But I could see where this would be a big problem. You asked about the glues I'm using, and I already spoke about Gorilla Glue, but I'm being very careful with it because although it's foam, it sands a little differently than the XPS foam, and so I tried to minimize anywhere that the foam can squeeze out to the edges. In this video of me joining the two halves together, the white goop that looks like mayonnaise is actually a mix of Park's water-based polyurethane floor finish and a healthy dose of micro balloons. I assume this is very similar to your micro balloons and Mod Podge that you indicated. Man, I really appreciate that detail of a question. In fact, I appreciate all your guys' comments. Would love to include them in future videos just like this, so please keep them coming. Now off to my original subject before I got onto this one was how to make a two-sided CNC milled wing. Because of the tip wash that I designed into the wing, there's no area where I can just cut a flat plane and mill them both on the same side. So it was a two-sided operation. That'll be the video coming next. Oh wait, there's one more problem. Did you know that foam chips that are CNC cut are statically charged? Yeah, that was a mistake too. Learned that one the hard way.